So now when you're doing these, I'm going to encourage you to drag and drop your calculator screen in here. If you're not using the calculator on the computer, I would suggest that you at least write down what you put down for the 4 values in there so that I can see it. All right, so this says mean height of the population is 138. Standard deviation is 5, so 143, 148, 153, 133, 128, 123. Okay? What percentage of the population will have a height under 144? Now, first thing, these numbers are probably not going to be right on any of the lines. I'm just going to estimate, and then I like to write it up at the top there, 144. What percentage is under? Okay, it's all of that. All right, so now what do I put into the calculator in terms of what I'm trying to figure out? Okay, well, I'm going to bring the calculator up. I'm going to quit out of that. I'm going to hit second vars and then number 2 to get normal CDF. Okay, now if you haven't used this at any point, it'll have in there a lower value of -1E99. That means 99 zeros and then a 1 with a negative in front of it, all right, which is basically negative infinity. The calculator doesn't understand infinity, so you have to put large numbers in there. I am going to use my system of typing in negative and then a bunch of nines. All right, I usually just hit a whole bunch. Okay, it's basically the same idea as what that just was. Okay, and actually I said that wrong. It's not negative a whole bunch of zeros and a 1. It's -1 and then 99 zeros after it. Sorry. Make sure I correct that mistake before we go on. All right. My upper value is going to be 144. So it's supposed to go from a really all the way over at negative infinity to 144. Okay, and then after that, I have to make sure that I look at my mean, which is 138, and my standard, whoops, let's not do that. My mean, which is 138, my standard deviation, which is 5. And then I hit paste. And the reason I do that is because before the calculator had all these menus in it, you just have to type this stuff in a string of parentheses and it would do it for you. But I hit paste, it pastes it all in there, and I hit enter. Okay, and it tells me that 88.8849. So I get an answer of 0.8849, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that is a decimal percentage. So to make it a percent, it's 88.49 ... percent. If it says to round, make sure you round correctly. All right. And I should look at it and see, does it really make sense? Well, when we talked about this already, we had 68% in here, and then 95% was in here. I'm almost all the way over to the 148, so I should be close to 95%. All right, so that number makes sense to me, and I should at least think about this, all right, because sometimes it might ask me for the area over in here, and I'll have to do some thinking to get that kind of a question and what I put into the calculator.